I must remember to not work all the time from my room. That's one of the things. And with my neck pain, I must endeavor to try and figure out how to relax, fully relax all my neck muscles and further try to identify how I can strengthen them and keep them firing in a sustainable way. Because I feel like all the time I realize that I'm keeping my head up, but I insist on lowering it. So the closer my chin is to my chest at any given time, I'm aware that, oh crap, if my chin is so far from, or so close rather, to my chest, then that must mean that all of these muscles all up my neck and down my, um, what are those called? Traps? Or no, I don't know. Down your back. um, I think they are your traps. That would explain why they are under tension and knotted and over compensating, right? So be aware of that distance. And it's difficult because you can go in or you can go out, but generally, just be mindful about how far your head keeps dropping forward and constantly, 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 everywhere you go. If you're just like that, then that explains that. And if that theory is correct, then let's explore the remedy to that. I'm not a professional in physiotherapy or any of those fields, but this is just a so far harmless curiosity um, journey of understanding. And it's coming from listening to my body. So, first, there's that aspect relationship. I'm forming that. Attuning high helps me focus on the aspect of body. I look into that, I listen, I think, I wonder, I go, okay, tell me more, tell me more, tell me more. Is there pain? Why is that? Um, could it be because you're constantly keeping your head in this position? And imagine how tiring that will be for your arms. Just hold your arms out in any given position without bracing them against your chest. You know very well that will be very tiring. Fact. So your neck is obviously under strain if your head is allowed to stay in this held position. Okay, fine. What's your point? Okay, well, I'm trying to remedy that. And I'm reminding myself that it's good to have enough self awareness to correct yourself. Whether you correct yourself through ego, because you're looking at your reflection and you're being self conscious and you want to present yourself in the best light. You want to get the angle right, you want to prune yourself, you want to make sure that you're all presentable and blah blah, and you do all these tests before you even click record. So that's one way that we edit ourselves and regulate. With enough self-awareness, we have control over how we present ourselves and how we live, how we behave. So that's of the ego, that kind of focus. It takes over as a priority. So we can focus on that, or we can focus on the mind and listen to how the mind is just rambling on. And the mind is trying to identify everything and like learn about everything and understand it and solve problems if I was to put my focus on solving problems, which I do on a constant basis. I'm always looking for narrative and I'm looking for problems and I'm looking for solutions. and I'm looking to discover both inner and outer. That's basically my MO. So in any conversation, it's very difficult to, oh, the pyramid of, what did I imagine before? The pyramid of communication, or like focus, is that when people say get to the point, you could visualize it as the point of this pyramid. Get to the point. Talk about something very specific. That's more of the mind, I suppose. It likes to just direct its focus on one thing and really understand it, and then dart off to other things. Some like to dart from one thing to another very quickly and come back and forth, like in ADHD. But some other people in a much lower frequency like to take things slowly and do one thing at a time. And in either extreme of that dichotomy, you will have very high performers in both sides, because it's one side of the spectrum where it starts to become like a superpower. So I'm experimenting with attuning into high as a superpower, because I've spent my life attuning more to focusing more on the mind becoming a dominant part of my aspect, an aspect of myself, a dominant driving force. I allow it to take control, and I allow my mind to run away and fix things. And I allow my body to come through when I'm doing physical actions. Like I was watching my housemate Elohim with his bicycle. He's got a Bronson, and he's meticulously maintaining that thing. And I see a reflection of myself, and I understand that part of the process of finding something that you enjoy, and in the tools and the lifestyle that you build around it, you that's all part of the process that you love. It's like forming a relationship with something that you need to maintain, like a child, like a bicycle, like a set of cooking utensils. It can be anything, because that's all part and parcel of the process of the thing that you really enjoy, right? Whether you really are attached to enjoying the outcome, which could be a dish from a recipe, from a cooking skill set, or it could be from a really clean bicycle that's not rusty and well kept, well maintained. It's your pride and joy to look after things from a process that you love. And I think this is important to cultivate. Everyone needs to have something, a process that they love. Whether they don't love the process yet because they haven't optimized it, that's another thing. Definitely look at optimizing your life in every way, in incremental parts. And that process also, God, it's getting so bright and dark. Okay, right. So this is my mind riding on high. And they are, you know, really off in the wilderness and exploring this journey. And they're going off on a tangent. And sometimes my ego flares up and I feel self-conscious again, and I run my fingers through my hair, and I adjust myself, and I look at my reflection. And sometimes I'm testing for composition, sometimes I'm testing for lighting, sometimes I'm testing for just flattery, right? And that's the ego chiming in and using the mind to go, hey, what if people think of this, whatever. And I acknowledge that as part of the communication that's going on within my whole self. And then I allow myself to come to another form of awareness where I go, okay, all of you shut up. I won't go further with you now, because this is a process that I want to repeat in myself. And I can only do that by myself, really. Because this is distracting. Language, communication is distracting. Thoughts are distracting. Everything's distracting from the very moment with everything that is. The isness is beautiful. And don't try to do anything with it. And I can say that and I can remind myself, but I want to find solutions and I want to manifest a beautiful future for myself and for everyone else. And if answers that we've been struggling with are found through exploration, through going down the path that hasn't been explored yet, then I'm more open to do that. It's dangerous and risky on different levels, but it's incredibly brave and incredibly important, I feel, when we're talking about conversations and communication. You can put your focus and identify with getting to the point and talking about something specific. But what I tend to do is I am talking about what's down below. What's the root cause? What's the fundamental thing in common? I was just staring at that light up there. What's the fundamental thing in common? Because there are patterns and solutions to be found. There are observations that people are too scared to even allow themselves to see because they're holding themselves back. I've been holding myself back through my ego and through my mind. And I've been holding my body back as well because not listening to it. So basically, I've been holding so many parts of myself back in different ways. And my journey of awareness has been fruitful, to say the least. And it's becoming more and more fruitful as I go. I will probably go a lot faster if I allowed myself to... No, whatever. This is good. This progress is good. Be thankful. I need to nail the intros and get to the point. But this is... Until next time, which is probably soon.